A few days ago, on July 16th, President Trump addressed the nation and announced to declassify a series of intelligence documents revealing how the Chinese Communist Party has systematically interfered in American elections.
Over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history.
When I heard that speech, one thought came to my mind immediately. I heard this 6 years ago. Back in December 2020, I sat down with a man who called himself a Red Third Generation, the grandson of a CCP founding official, the son of a senior Chinese bank executive, and someone who grew up inside the system before coming to the United States to study, including Stanford. He came forward because he had stumbled onto something extraordinary. He knew someone in New York running a fake ID operation, supplying Chinese international students with counterfeit American IDs. In July 2020, that contact told him orders had surged, at least 20,000 fake IDs a month. What he found led him to a printing factory in Guangdong, China. He spent $5,000 to get the factory owner talking and recorded the conversation. What he learned was the factory was producing at least 500,000 fake ballots per month. Over 3 months, they printed an estimated 1.5 to 1.6 million ballots in total. These ballots, he said, did not come directly into the United States. They were first shipped to Canada or Mexico, then brought across the border through drug trafficking networks into cities like New York and Massachusetts. He took this evidence to American mainstream media. No one outlet would touch it. Some called it too political. Others called it fake news without making a single phone call to verify. I interviewed him shortly after in December 2020. The video was published on my YouTube channel in both English and Chinese, including this one, and then quietly taken down. 6 years later, much of what he told me appears in intelligence documents that President Trump just declassified. I cannot verify every claim he made, but I do know that in 2020, it took real courage to say what he said. Now, let's go back 6 years and listen. Welcome to our show, Benes.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, so tell our audience about yourself.
My name is Venus Oliver, and I'm 24 years old. And my grandfather and my father, my whole family used to work for Chinese Communist Party. And for me, I used to be a Chinese citizen, but since I was young, my almost entire life get a Western education. I lived in California, lived in Boston, New York, Tokyo, and Munich.
You told us about how your grandfather was actually one of the co-founders of the People's Republic of China?
He is on the list for the co-founder of the People's Republic of China, yeah, right.
What was his position? Do you remember?
Yes, his position is 省厅级.
Oh, 省厅级. Uh-huh.
厅级.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In which province or city?
Qinghai.
Qinghai. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he also worked for 中央警卫局.
So he's basically in the Chinese military.
Yes.
I see.
And joining the party is before the country get established.
Before the Chinese Communist Party got the power.
Yes.
I see. And so how about your father? What was his position, highest position?
Well, he was the Bank of Guangdong vice president.
I see.
And then after that, he joined the Chinese Yintong for the shareholder and manager in charge of that.
Okay, so let's get into, if I could get into the 2020 election issue, because, it's starting to getting viral of the videos that you released. So could you tell us about, how did you know there were fake ballots of the United States election being printed in China?
It's like more accidentally I know this, not like I directly know this because I don't know at the first beginning. So, as an international student in the state, especially like when they were young, they need going to club, they need to go into casino, especially when they're underage. For me too, when I was young. So we ordered the fake ID.
Fake ID.
Yeah, fake ID. Yes.
From where?
If you ask like all the age from New York.
Okay.
And the owner is my friend.
From New York.
I know him from New York. But the person, he lived in New York, but he is not. Factory is in Macau.
I see. He's like an agent.
It's like the agent and collecting those orders. And then once they get in the order, send the order to Macau, then Macau will send the DHL ship to United States. And that is not secret. In the international student those circles, is not a secret. Everybody knows.
Could you review? Yeah. Could you review the agent in New York who's your friend? So he's a Chinese. American?
He's Chinese. Yes.
I see. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, because this area is more like a gray area. Because sometimes you have to go to a club or casino and they're underage. And what I can tell is those qualities the best. You cannot really tell what's the difference. And the machine can read. And later on, I can send a video as my example to this. So how this relate with the fake ballots? So let me finish this story, then you can know what's going on for this.
Sure.
So when July 2020 July, then I asked him, they just like chick chat. I said like, hey, random talk. I said like, he asked me like, oh, recently my order get increased. I'm like, wow, how many? It's like at least 20,000 per month.
For the ID.
Yes.
Okay.
So then, later on, August, I think it's August or September, I was watching the news. The New York just just stopped for those ID.
The shipment.
They get cut like the shipping. Yes. Then I'm a little curious. Then I just send a link to him. I was like, hey, is this your products? He's like, yeah, get cut. I'm like, then I'm a little curious. Like, who's the buyer? Who's gonna buy a lot? Because first of all, I thought like just some gangster or mafia. They're gonna use this for some dirty work, some underground. So I wouldn't that much pay attention because that is not my business. Then November 3rd, that night I was on plan. And before the plan get landing off, I was checking the election result. I thought Trump, he gonna win because I'm a Trump fan. So I support for Trump, Donald Trump. But later on, after I back to my hotel, then I wake up, I see again, like, oh my God, that's impossible. Why those elections get just different? The Biden goes up, then Trump goes down. Then I feel like something wrong with this. So then, because during that period, everybody talking about the election result. Everybody felt weird, odd. People just feel odd, like what the result that thing. And for me too, and I have some resource connection too. Then I asked them, So in a case, because they have a factory in China, which means Guangdong area, they're doing the false for the receipt. Do you know the false receipt? Like you're going to buy something and they're gonna give you some like official receipt, and you get the receipt, you can avoid the tax. So they are doing something fake this.
So you
They're
knew
doing
it.
fake.
You knew that.
Sorry.
You knew.
I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew that because for my job, I have to deal with different class people. I'm doing financial business. I'm doing different finance people, but that doesn't mean I do something illegal. Just my client, sometimes you know people, that's your connection. So then the driver license guy in New York, we talked something very deeply, and this conversation I just keep not be open the record, or somehow I get a contact from this. First of all, I don't believe that thing, because I felt like nobody gonna fake those thing, especially in China. Then I sent my guy to get a conversation to them, but we're just talking. We're not sending anything, and the guy, of course, he's not like respond me. So, but in China, you can send some like a red packet, hongbao.
Okay.
So we send some to him.
Tips.
Yeah. Yeah, we send some tips. Just ask him, hey, dude, do you know this? That's the most incredible thing. Is like the guy is from China. He's in Guangdong. He doesn't speak English, and he respond us like, "Oh, we know this. We got another sample." And he sent to my guy, and that makes me very curious. Then I spend like a 5K pretending to the customer. I'm like, "Hey, can you make this?" Then he's like, "Yeah, of course." And that's why I make the record.
The phone call.
The audio record. The phone call, yes.
In the video with your phone call, but there is also showing some video of the ballot samples, so was that video from him?
From him, I know many people are gonna say like the video looks like unusual, because after I know this, I contact Taiwan. First I contact some U.S. media and press, and they gave me the response, and gave my office response is because that is political, very complicated, and they just reject me. They just reject me. They don't like it. So then I sent to Taiwan. The Taiwan finally, there had one place called Xin Media, Xin Chunmei. They took that, and so the video isn't like I put my voice and the video put together. Is originally used from Xin Media.
I see.
And I get like around 40 videos on my phone. And later on, I can just press. But for during this process, I trying to figure out. I'm not like, because at the beginning, I don't know the crew. I have no idea. To thought like what's the wrong, who is the right. So I don't know. But the most unbelievable thing is like during those process, I asked those press, I asked those social media, Twitter. Nobody asked me, and nobody to come to confirm, to identify this is a fake news or real news. And they just all saying this is fake. I mean, you can judge a thing, but you can't judge without your own judgment.
Yeah, without investigation, right?
Right. Nothing. They just say false, fake. At least, but at least we're gonna have to. American is very diversities. we believe the Constitution and we believe the dreams. We believe the freedom. But right now, during this process, they just want us to keep silence. They don't care the truth. They can hear then later on, many news just get out, just leaked. Voice record from CNN, that people get social security number, get voted, then change at different places. Then that's because if this just started, if only me, I won't be stand come out here. There's many new evidence comes out. That's why I decided to come to here to make this into the public.
Understand. Yeah, so from the conversation you did with the guy in the Canton factory, what did you get the most out of it? Were you able to get like how many orders they got and when did they start, such details?
First of all, like when the first time I trying to phishing him, he stopped talking. He's not talking. He's like, oh, I cannot tell you until I paid him $5,000. Then he opened his mouth.
Okay.
You know, Chinese people, especially like people went through the gray area, they're greedy. So I paid him, he speak. So he said 1 month he can produce at least 500,000.
1 month, 500,000.
500,000. Yeah. So according his word, let's do the calculate, let's do the math. Around like 1.5 or 1.6 million bullets.
Oh, from the
then when I get the first one from the China. Yes.
How did you estimate 1.6 million?
Because every month they said at least 500,000, and that is 3 months. So do the math. And I'm trying to get their tracking number. I have some, but unfortunately, like, you know, in China, they have to play the white gloves, 白手套.
So once they printed it in the factory in Canton, do you know what they do with it? How do they get them into the United States?
Or first, you cannot directly into the United States. They have to ship in from, because I have a few tracking number. If you took this number, they're not directly to the state. First they go to Canada or Mexico. Then from there, just like a narcos drug business. And back to there, you have to dealing with local narcos or local gangster, and they figure out this. Or somehow, in that part, I have some crew in New York and Massachusetts, I know. But other than that, I don't have more information. And this time is from July to October.
Okay.
Yeah. Because first, the printing the bullets is not completely. For some tech, they cannot fake. They have to do the second time.
Where do they do the second round, do you think?
I don't know. I think probably Canada. Canada or Mexico or some border place. I mean, they have to get low profile. And that isn't just like they prepare for like 3 months or 2 months. Because for those ID, at least I know, it's like 1 year. That's 1 year ago they got order for that.
So in New York, do you have any idea where their shipment could be? Like, you know, from, you mentioned they probably, you know, go to New York, they will come from Canada, right?
Brooklyn, Flushing, if you go there is like well, for some people name I can't tell on this interview, but you can get a crack, you can get weed in there. I mean, those gray area, you cannot just go to the a print factory, say, hey, I want to print something. You have to deal with this with the people in underground world. And that world in those words, that's different, very different role. Not say luckily or unfortunately, but I'm dealing with different people. So that's why.
I see. Okay, so your friend in New York who dealt with the fake ID, so Am I understanding right that you got the fake ballot thing also from him? How they could correlate the fake ID and the fake ballot?
Okay, first of all, if you just use the fake ID in some state, in the machine, they cannot. You have to use the ballot with your ID. But the ID, if you check on the system, some system won't show the face. They only show the name. That's why the dead people, the social security number, once you get those information, you can hire some people on the street, use their face, but the information is other people. And then you can pass for the ballot. And then we don't have to mention about the system. They get cheat on system. Because it very depending on the different state and how they cheat. In some state, they cannot cheat on the system. They just do the fake ballot. And that, what I'm saying, not only I saying this, you can check on the our president's the Twitter. They have a video shows they switched for those ballots. And this word not only come from me. That's a lot of people saying this. And if you can check the time of the Shin Medium, I get all the records. It's not like just like a conspiracy. It's more like we're talking the reality, what's happening here.
Do you have any information from inside China about how the Chinese government get their hands on the United States election?
Well, as far as I know, this has been a decade for many years since they joined the WTO. So first of all, they trying to use the money since I was young because my here I want to talk about my background because my mom, she working for the Chinese government party. She is in 国台办, National Taiwan Relationship Office. So and then she studied at the Beijing University. And there have like a MBA, 总裁班, you know, all the rich chairman, CEO, they get it into there. And every summer when I finish my school, I'm back to Beijing, then I join their meeting too. Because my mom wanted to train me to learn something after I graduate. But so during that class, it's not like actually you're going to there learn something. Is you're going to there exchange your resource, which means you get higher resource, you get higher class, you get higher profit. But that is not only for this action is not by those CEOs. It actually they have to follow by the party. The party give them order, they get close to those politicians. First, they're trying to use the money to block them, but you know that was like 10 years ago. They don't know the role. Of course, it's failed. So, but that is not the most terrible thing. They get strong. First of all, they say like, okay, we join the war. We're trying to use the money, and we're trying to get on with those, for example, president or vice president or chancellor, congressman. But then they realized if they just bought their head, it's not working. Because there isn't like China. You bought a mayor, then everything becomes through or pass. Have you the green light? Because United States, you know, have the Congress and many people, members, House, you know, a lot of meeting. Then once they follow, they start to learn it. They send the exchange student J1, F1 to United States to learn this system. The most terrible thing is they learn it, they come back against the system. Use the corrupt way to doing that. They're still growing, extending the cultural effect. trying to brainwash the whole world, because they using the money, then they thought, okay, it's not working, then let's try something else. They're trying to use the system. If the guy is against China, then they'll support his enemy, because enemy's enemy is friend. Once his friend get elected, well, they in the back, they win. And also Huawei, and also those people from CSSA.
And how you are able to get to where you are right now from ground zero, almost sounds like. So what do you owe that to? What do you think of United States, which able to make you to this state?
Equality, because they treat, no matter you're the president, no matter what level you are, they're not begging. They're not for in China. There is very different between the different class and then there. So for me, Tommy, no matter who, in China, I think people don't have the, in the society, especially in the business, people don't have the real heart to concern other people's feeling. They only care their own, and they trade the money first, and they don't believe anything. They don't have any moral for this. That's why you can see those food, anything in China, they get very bad influence on the public. So I think that's it about moral. So American or something, I'm not saying that American is 100% perfect, but at least moral side, they teach to me more looks like a human, not like an animal. I think if people without moral or compassion or heart, they're less than animals. But unfortunately, in China, most of the modern people, they're less human. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm. With the Chinese Communist Party's influence into the United States, some Americans, it's hard for them to realize, how dangerous it could be. Mm-hmm. So what do you want to say to them?
Back to those years, Americans built on the Constitution. We allowed there were city voices in this country. We support the freedom. We support the human rights. We used to get the American dreams. But look now. If the normal people don't standing up, then the right, maybe after 10 years, after 20 years, then you look back. You're gonna miss the freedom. You're gonna miss the freedom speech, like right now. Go to Twitter or go to there. They just blocked everything. What do you say? In China, already been through the Cultural Revolution. You have a very good example to see what happened in China back to the 70s. America is turned to a very dangerous way right now. They don't allow other voices. Who made this? I'm not saying like for people or any party. It's you and me, both. The greedy in our side. So one thing I just want to say, something is more important than the money. Keep the faith and do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose your soul. And God bless you. God bless United States of America.
Do you have any concerns? Are you afraid to speak out?
God with me. I'm not afraid. If I don't do this, who else are gonna do this? I'm not putting hope on the people they afraid to this, because I understand they get their life, they get their jobs, they're afraid. But as you know, for me, my national, Manchuria, Mongolia, we are warriors. We're not afraid, guys. We're only afraid is the world become more corrupt, and no one can stop this.
That's what I'm most afraid of.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Death is not the end. Death is not the end. Yes.
Great. Thank you. Okay, that was the first half of this interview. What Venus documented wasn't a theory. It was the result of his own investigation, his own money, his own recordings. A factory in Guangdong printing 500,000 fake ballots a month. Shipments routed through Canada and Mexico via drug trafficking networks. Evidence handed to American media that no one would touch. 6 years later, the President of the United States stood before the nation and said, in essence, the same thing. Other creators are welcome to use this content. Just credit the Wei and Cathy Show. All right, I'm Cathy Zhang. Thanks for watching and see you next time.